What's up, Internet Land? Zachamus Prime, aka Zachamus Prime, here with a Transformers review. Today, the figure we're going to be reviewing is the Siege Omega Supreme. This is actually a figure that I've been trying to get my hands on for review for a while, but while I've had a few people promise to loan them to me, it hasn't worked out till now. So, this is the Siege Omega Supreme, and he's he's big. He's definitely big. Let me see if I've got anything over here for a size comparison. Anything on hand. Here's a Masterpiece Prime. That's the transform element, but it's the same size as the MP10, or actually the MP44 as well. So, fairly big figure. It's it's big enough that it would actually stand up fairly well. I think the third party ones, the DX9 and Fans Toys offerings, are taller than this. I want to say, but not by a whole lot. Certainly are much more expensive than this, and it shows. This figure is, well, it's Hasbro through and through. But anyhow, so let's get into his accessories and whatnot. His only accessory that he comes with, well, no, he comes with a few accessories. He comes with this little figure here, this countdown. If this is the only one you get, then it is the final countdown. Anyhow, he also comes with a small collection of, well, it's actually kind of a larger collection. Sorry, I've got these stored in here. Well, actually, the guy who I'm borrowing this from has them stored in here because it is super convenient. He's got these convenient storage compartments on his shins, and who would not want to take advantage of such convenience as this? Anyhow, so it's little effect parts here. You can stack them all up to make this big one, or pull them all apart. I will say the stacked up one looks kind of funny because each and every one of them has got this airbrushed paint app on it. And so, I mean, honestly, the black is supposed to be like dust, soot, debris, and then the orange is supposed to be like fire, right? What explosion goes dust, fire, dust, fire, dust, fire, dust, fire, dust, fire? I don't know. But when you split them all up and put them all over, explosion blast effects or whatnot, it actually looks okay for the most part. I guess a character getting shot up in random positions of his body, whatever floats your boat, whatever renders thy vessel buoyant. I don't know. I'm not gonna put them all up. We've seen them. So in terms of paint applications, this figure's actually pretty clean. He's got an Autobot symbol here, red paint, silver paint. He's got gray paint in places. A little bit of carbon scoring around several of his 5mm spots here. His face sculpt is not bad, but not great. Now, let's see if I can even get a good shot of that. Let me just pull my camera off of the tripod and bring it in. It's not bad, but not great. His head cannon thing is super droopy. I don't know. Full disclaimer, I gotta say, but probably before I get too much into this, if this is the first of my Omega Supreme videos you've seen, then you haven't heard this yet. And all of the figures that I review that are Omega Supreme, which has been this guy, the Mech Fans Toys one, the DX9 version, and the Fans Toys version, all of them I stated that I'm not a fan of Omega Supreme. His robot mode looks like somebody took a pile of base parts and mashed them together in this weird approximation of a robot. Whereas his base mode looks like somebody took a bunch of robot parts and mashed them together into a weird approximation of a base. So, even as a kid, I felt it was half-assed. So I'm not a fan of Omega Supreme. That probably will color my review somewhat, but when it comes to comparisons between other Omega Supremes, they all take the same handicap in that regard. So, oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this guy here. You can fold him up like this. A transformation, as it were. Put up his little radar dish thingamajig, and then you can flip out this doohickey here. Jeez, my lights are not helping me out at all. Flip out this little doohickey here, and you can plug it into any 5mm anywhere, like his shoulder, for example. And that's it for accessories for Omega Supreme. He doesn't really have a lot, and it's all mostly in his large size. So let's get into articulation a bit. It's going to be kind of difficult because it's a very large figure. So his head does swivel about just nicely. It is kind of on a little bit of a double joint extension here, so that it allows him to look up and down a little bit, which is nice. It's nice. His shoulders are on these large clicky ratchets. They don't go all the way around because of the wings. We can, of course, pop those wings off, and his arm would just go around just as well as you please. Arm comes out on another ratchet here. Elbow goes about 90 degrees, actually exactly 90 degrees. He does have a bicep swivel, but because of the shape of his upper arm versus his lower arm, when you have it all the way bent, that just prevents that from turning. So, but if you bend it down even one click, that gives him full rotation on that. This part extends and swivels. What? That's super cool. On his other claw, I gotta mention his claw. He's got a little ratchet here at the base of each finger, and then just a smooth rotation here. And then he's got a ratcheted rotation on that wrist. Waist joint is super loud. Let me go down a little bit more. Waist joint is super loud. I'm going to put his wing back on just so that he can go for that full effect. That wing came off a lot easier than it wants to go on. There we go. The leg will go. That far forward. Feels like it should go farther, but it's actually physically being blocked from going further. And backwards will be that far backwards. Again, it definitely looks like it could go farther, but oh my god, he's posing. He's balancing on the one foot. Actually, that's actually mildly impressive. I'm not going to say really impressive, but mildly impressive. This guy is easily the most lightweight of all of the Omegas. In fact, I should scale him while I've got him up here. He'll get 100% Van Damme. God, I'm going to wake up my wife. Thigh swivels as much as you please. Knee joint goes. Pan down a little bit. 90 degrees. And ankle has a fair amount of pivot. While I've got the camera pointed down, we're going to stick his legs together throw all of his accessories in to give him the best benefit he can get. And we're gonna scale him. Turn my thing on. Oh, hi, it says. Alright, so this is gonna be, let me switch this over to pounds and ounces. Yeah. 5 pounds, 8.7 ounces. That's, yeah. That's what you get out of a big, tall figure. I really do wish that I had the other Omegas on hand to scale them with, just for chuckles and grins. Let's see what some of these other figures that are large like that weigh. Here is my Zeta Toys Superion. We'll get him posed on this. He's not standing on this fully even. Yeah, 6 pounds, 3 ounces. So that's like at least half a pound more. I don't know. I don't have anything else really around here. All of my stuff is set up, and I don't have a lot of Siege stuff, so I didn't really have a lot to compare him with. But anyhow, so Omega Supreme. He's big. He's fairly posable. His ratchets are fairly strong. I guess that's actually one of the better things I can say about him, is that due to his lighter weight and his fairly strong ratchets, he actually holds his poses fairly well. But anyhow, let's do a quick view of him from the back. I'm going to, of course, pan up and down. Again, more paint apps on the back. A little bit on the back of the leg here. On the back of these things. His antenna put itself away again. But anyhow, to get him transformed up, we want to start on the back anyhow. You're just going to slide these wings off. These are going to go aside for now. You want to disconnect these right here, these two little tabs down here that plug into these slots right here. And then you just kind of put your fingers on the shoulders and put your thumbs right here on this detail and just kind of yank. And that comes right off. You want to straighten out these arms, and then you want to fold this up, fold these panels out. Maybe I folded them out too early. And then collapse all of this connection down on itself. Fold these around, plug them back into themselves there. Now, one thing that's kind of fun about this is, let's see if I can get some. He's got a little arrow detail right here and a little arrow detail right here. The idea is you're supposed to line those up, oops, and then put them together, and then follow this detail to twist it, and that's supposed to lock it closed. It does not, but it was a nice thought. Pull this extension out, and there is his super phallus. We're gonna stick his Omega super phallus aside for just the time being and continue on with the transformation, flipping him around. We're gonna open up these panels here. By the way, you can open these up in robot mode, and there's cool little missile details in here. They of course work in base mode as well. You want to take this panel here and flip that down. Sorry, I didn't even have this. This guy's much bigger, so I'm not used to having to pan up and down, up and down, up and down. Missile details, like I mentioned, but they were out of the frame before. So you want to flip this panel down here, and then you want to kind of pry this out a bit until you start to get this gap right here. And then you just want to put your fingers right in that gap and just yank it straight out. There is this one clip here that pegs into this one tab back here, and it is just a bitch of a tab. So it takes a bit of force, but there's a technique to it. We're gonna put this is actually no, I'm gonna transform this module right now. So this panel here flips down. You can fold out his guns like so. Head goes forward. You want to take this panel here, kind of just grab it by the barrel. Let's put this down a little bit. Grab it by the barrel, flip it all the way around, rotate this. Now his face is going to go right up into that. Straighten out these guns. Close up this panel. This will untab from the underside and come around like so. And there is his tank mode, tank component. Alright, now let's get this guy transformed up. We want to straighten everything out super straight, like so. Now we want to put his legs in the full Van Damme position. While we're down here, we're going to flip these out. These almost entirely pointless ramps. But they do have really cool detail underneath them. This, like, I don't know what this is supposed to be, some sort of a servo or like a power rectifier or I don't know, some sci-fi term, I'm sure. So pull those out. We're going to bend the knees 100 as far as they'll go. There is his robo-dick needs to flip out. Rotate his waist 180 degrees. And plop him down like so. Back this up, make sure I get everything in frame. Ow, that was a rocket that just fell on my toe. These are going to open up. Pull out these three and clip them into these ports right here. Like that. They'll snap in. Yeah, like so. Again with the other side. Open. Extend. Good. Clip. Clip, I say. Clip, damn you. Alrighty. And there we go. There we go. Throw a tank on that. Throw a rocket on it. Once I get the rocket put back together, it kind of, all the panels went wild. Yeah, the rocket is just super huge. But in this mode, of course, you've got your little Indy 500 racetrack. That's cool. And you can put your siege figures driving around on it. That's cool. You've got these 5mm peg holes with the carbon scoring around them. So you can put your little blast effects on there or plug them into these little tiny 3mm ones here. That's cool. These are completely useless because it's got this. This is the connector. This is the base connector that I think goes back as far as Titan's Return. I want to say. I don't know. I've got a Titan's Return leader class figure over there, but he's like way hiding in the back of a shelf, and I don't want to move everything to get him. But like, you'd have to put something literally right here where the foot goes to get this to connect to anything, or maybe you could stick something on top of the leg. But I don't know what base you're going to put on top of a leg and still pretend it's a base. I don't know. These ramps seem to have no functional purpose other than being ramps. And yeah, he's got the missile details here on the base mode. You can rotate this around, I guess, on this waist joint so you can pivot and shoot stuff. You've got your rocket that launches off. Kind of cute. You've got some actual like functional cockpit details here. I'm sure somebody will come up with stickers for that. Plus, you can take this and pop this open and pop this open. And now you've got just, let me get a light in here. Just a positively huge computer and control bank in there. That'll hold one like legend scale figure. But just one, so, and a small one at that, so I guess all of Hasbro ones are small. I keep thinking about third-party figures. There's a lot of third-party legends that won't fit in there, but probably almost everything made by Hasbro will. The, oh good. Saved it. The tank mode here has got guns that go up and down. This gun also goes up and down. There's no rotation whatsoever on that turret. A little bit of rollers here on the underside. That's fun. He doesn't really... I mean, these rollers are narrower than the lips of this, so it will fit on there. It'll just slide like that. That's how much leeway there is in it. So even when you've got them rolling around technically on the track, it just still feels just sloppy. Base mode, because they didn't have the legs split and double this ramp area like all of the third-party ones and the original G1 did, then you don't have as much, it's not as oval as it could be. They also really changed the shape and design of these wings, almost to the point where they look weird. But it actually helps them out in both modes because it narrows his profile in the robot mode, so he doesn't take as much shelf space up. But yeah, that's Omega Supreme. Not sure what else I can say about him. I do want to point out that, I mean, okay, so this offering here is going to be your cheapest one by far. This is only like $120, I want to say, for a Supreme class figure nowadays. Maybe 150. Whereas the Fans Toys and DX9 ones are going to throw you back at least $250. But, I mean, if we're really getting down to the nitty-gritty of it, that's a $100 difference, which is 66% increase. It's the Fans Toys and DX9 versions are each at least more than 66% cooler than this. So if you're looking for the coolest figure for your collection, this ain't it. If you're just like completely stuck on Hasbro, like that's all you're doing, 100% Hasbro all the way, then first and foremost, why would you let somebody else make all of your decisions for you? But secondly, you're restricted anyhow, so there's no other choice. If you're looking for the cheapest one and you have to have a big towering one, this is it. If you're looking for a cheaper one that necessarily doesn't have to tower over all the figures, if you're just looking for an Omega Supreme for the sake of having an Omega Supreme, you might want to look up the Mech Fans Toys figure. That's only going to run you about $60. So I don't know. Everybody's collection is individual and unique, just like everybody. Yay for individualness and uniqueness. This isn't the one that I would get, but I am happy that I was finally able to get my hands on a copy of this to review. So, with that being said, I'm going to leave this as it is. Oh, actually, I'm going to turn this back into robot mode to give back to my buddy. But I'm done with this review at this time. Thanks everybody for watching. You guys are fantastic. Everybody stay awesome and be good to each other. See ya.